Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, and freedom fighters. How y'all doing? Your boy is back to touch a little bit on some boxing. There is some exciting fights coming up. You got Terrence Crawford versus Canelo on September 13th, which is next Saturday. You got some other boxing matches, of course, smaller, some lesser known fighters and all that good stuff. And you guys should really check those out, like I should as well. But, most of the excitement is on these upcoming fights. We got some cards in September. We got some cards in October that are exciting. We got Fedora versus what's his name? Keith Thurman in October. That's going to be an exciting card. And even the most exciting card of the year, of course, is going to be Devin versus Brian Norman. That card with David Benavidez and Anthony Yard, who's headlining. I'm not even going to mention the farce that is the Tonka Truck Davis versus Jake the Snake Paul. Not even going to talk about that. I don't even know when that's going to happen or if that's going to happen. We got to wait and see. I'm interested in seeing how the Tonka Truck fans are going to react if that fight never happens and what Tonka Truck is going to do next. But what I want to talk about right now specifically, of course, they got all this goddamn traffic for this goddamn fast grab shit. This damn, whatever. This town-wide salute to Coach Hudson. This town-wide goddamn yard sale all over the goddamn place, causing all this traffic. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a good yard sale, but man, goddamn, shawty. Can I get to the house? Thank you. Anyway, now Brian Norman Jr. is going to be facing Devin Haney in November, on November 22nd. And a lot of people out there believe that Brian Norman Jr. is simply going to knock out Devin Haney. Is going to be nothing to it, right? But I'm not sure if Brian Norman Jr. even believes that. Listen, we have this idea that Brian Norman Jr. is this elite power puncher, and Devin can't stand a chance against that, right? But we know that Devin has faced an elite power puncher, not an elite boxer, but an elite a boxer with elite level punching power in Ryan Garcia, with elite level power punching in Regis Prograis. Regardless of what people want to say, Regis Prograis was known as a knockout artist. We know that. Even Lomachenko has his fair share of stoppages. He's faced these guys. He's been in the fire. But nonetheless, people still believe that Devin Haney is going to get just straight up flatlined by Brian Norman Jr., right? And I happen to believe differently because there are things that I know about Brian Norman Jr. that could be exploited. It can take his power away. And I think that Brian Norman Jr. knows the same thing, because even though it's overwhelmingly believed that Brian Norman Jr. is simply going to knock out Devin Haney, there are those individuals that enjoy the sport of boxing that really are boxing enthusiasts that understand that that is simply not going to be the case. That is not a given. Does he have a puncher's chance? Absolutely. But is that a given? Absolutely not. For those of us who are boxing enthusiasts, like myself, I'm a boxing enthusiast, meaning that I actually practice the sport of boxing. I'm not just a spectator, right? When you're an enthusiast of a thing, that means you participate and you study it to a great degree. But nonetheless, I want to talk about this footwork that Brian Norman Jr. is so concerned about us believing he has, right? Because there are two different occasions where he showed off this footwork, and I noticed certain things, okay? In one instance, Now he might have shown more videos in regards to that, but I've only seen two. One when he was in the ring and he was doing this footwork around the ring and all this other stuff. He was bouncing around, using lateral movement, and all these good things. I noticed certain things about it. It's not natural to him, right? It's not second nature to him. It's not instinctual. It's not something that just flows from him, okay? Like it does with Devin Haney. And not saying that he's not capable of good footwork. It's just not something that he practices very often. It's not something that he utilizes on a regular beat, right? When he does his training, you can tell. There were certain instances where he's going around the ring and he's crossing his feet. He's bringing his feet too close together. It's kind of the little signs and symptoms that I see that, yes, he is capable of good footwork simply through his genetics, but it's not second nature, if you get my meaning. I'm pretty sure Coach Hudson knows what I'm talking about. But I can see now Brian Norman Jr. is really working on that footwork. But in what regard? Is he working on cutting off the ring? Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's working on doing what Devin does best. Doing what Devin does best. That means that he's going to fight Devin's fight. He's going to try to fight Devin's fight and knock Devin out. So that's one thing I noticed the first time he showed us his footwork in his training videos. Okay, like I said, he's capable of good footwork. It looks like he might, if he drills it over months and months and months and months, he might be much better. It might become second nature to him. It might become instinctual, right? Like when you hit the pads, and you do these 30, 40 punch combinations, and people look at you and they say, well, you're not going to be able to do that in a real fight. You're not going to be able to get off it. No, that's not the point of doing those long drawn out combinations. The point is to build an instinctual response, to build your reflexes, right? So you might throw a jab, cross, hook, slip, uppercut, cross, hook, and then you might do 3, 4, 5 more combinations after that. But you throw in slips, you throw in blocks, you throw in parries, you throw in fadeaways, you throw in feints in between those, because those are the prompts. You build the prompts in these combinations, and you build instinctual responses or reflexes from what you may encounter in the ring. Anyway, the footwork to me looked like he might be capable of footwork, but it's not drilled into him, right? It's something that he feels. Y'all got me? Can I get a Romeo Lima Charlie? Some goddamn bullshit. Some goddamn bullshit. Anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and rock, y'all. So, thank you, Coach Hudson, for hitting me with that one. Anyway, so that's what I noticed in the first video I saw. It's not second nature. It's like, you know how black folks know how to dance in general? You might know how to dance. You might have rhythm to dance, but you don't dance. You choose not to dance. But every now and then when you get out on the dance floor, you have the rhythm down. You're doing okay, but you're not doing no fancy shit. Or when you try to do fancy shit, it just looks kind of goofy. But you still trying. So, you still have a certain level of rhythm. You're just not, it's not second nature to you because you don't dance a lot, right? You don't practice these dance moves on a regular basis. Okay, Dark Undead, I'm going to get your ass out of here. We do not encourage spamming on my fucking channel. Whether you have homoerotic fantasies or not, that's up to you. That's on you. But we're not spamming that bullshit We're not spamming no rainbow up in here. We're not spamming that shit. Insane Talk, salute to you. He said once you get hit back to the same Norman. Exactly. So that was what I saw in the first video where you're showing that footwork. It's like, okay, look what I can do. I can move around the ring and do this, that, and the third. I can blah, blah, blah. Okay, right? You are concerned that people believe you don't have footwork. You're concerned that you'll be exploited in your fight against Devin Haney because your footwork isn't on par with his. But your mistake is trying to have your footwork be on par with Devin's. I'm not giving Brian Norman Jr. any pointers because understand that he only has a couple months to train for this. He doesn't train for footwork like that. He doesn't train to have footwork on the level of Devin Haney. So trying to do it now is going to be a mistake. But he's trying. More power to him. If I were him, and again, I'm not trying to, not that Brian Norman Jr. is going to see this video, I would work on cutting off the ring with footwork rather than dancing around the ring with footwork. I would work on cutting off the ring. You know what I'm saying? I work on more of the shuffle step. I would work on cutting off the ring with my feet as well as body shots. That's what I would work on. But, you know, he does what he wants. Salute MHA crew. And then so there's another video I saw where Brian Norman Jr. is showing off footwork. And he is slipping a maze ball, or what one might call a slip ball. Right? It's a little ball, teardrop shaped, about this big, and you swing it back and forth. You work on head movement. You know, you work on head movement. You work on dodging and, you know, parrying, whatever, blocking, you know, whatever you want to do. And he's showing off some footwork in that video where he's bouncing back and forth, bouncing side to side, using his footwork, you know, using his head movement with the footwork. It looked pretty good. But one thing I noticed, he got tired. You can't really spot it unless you have a good eye for it. Dude got tired. Let me tell y'all, Brian Norman Jr. has an endurance problem. He has a stamina problem. He has a gas tank problem. He has a gas tank problem. And when he goes in there against Devin Haney is going to exploit this gas tank problem. I saw this gas tank problem when he was slipping that maze ball using his footwork. That's why the ball is swinging back and forth. Swinging back and forth. But at some point, he decided to stop and grab the ball and push it again as though the ball swing was slowing down. Let me tell you something. I noticed he was getting a little tired. Now, he might have been working on other things before he showed that video, but Brian Norman Jr. has a gas tank problem. And so here's another thing with footwork like that. If you're going to implement footwork like that, you have to have the stamina and endurance to do that on a constant basis in the ring. If that's what you're going to try to do, if you're going to try to keep up with Devin Haney, whether you're trying to do footwork like his or you're trying to cut off the ring, your stamina has to be on point, because guess what you're going to be doing as well? You're not just going to be moving your feet. You're going to be trying to land on Devin Haney. He's going to make that very difficult for you. It's going to make it very difficult for you to land, because Devin is going to be a moving target. Devin's going to be a moving target. He is going to set up combinations on the move. He can fight off the back foot. He can fight off the front foot. He can fight laterally. Devin has gotten that down. And a lot of that is why one might feel he doesn't have a lot of power behind his punches, because he utilizes combinations on the move. He doesn't necessarily have to set up or plant his feet to land these combinations crisply. But you notice also, as well, no one's just running through Devin Haney's punches. So though they might not have a lot of pop, the most power behind them, there is enough pop there to make you respect it. No one runs through Devin Haney's combinations. No one. Not even Ryan Garcia. Carnell Triplet says you don't what you're talking about. He didn't get tired. Only fight he looked tired was Correa. No, that's not true. You have no idea what you're looking at. Go look at the Jin Sasaki fight. In the third round, he was getting tired. He was getting tired in the third round against Jin Sasaki. He didn't have to move he didn't barely have to move at all. Jin Sasaki was standing right in front of him. Standing right in front of him for most of the fight. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I did a breakdown video of that fight, and I show you where he gets tired. But you don't have to believe it. Believe what you want. Jin Sasaki was standing right in front of him with his gloves down. Jin Sasaki would be like this, standing right in front of him, not moving at all. Brian Norman was missing a lot of shots. Brian Norman Jr. was missing a shitload of shots against Jin Sasaki. Oh, Coach Hudson, I don't know. Was that a dude that said that? I don't know. You never know with these faceless ones. If they giving me compliments like that, they might be a little. You never know. Yeah, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Yes, he was, Don Myers. He was tired. You don't have to believe it. Brian Norman Jr. was tired against Jin Sasaki. Oh, that's what's up, Coach. Yeah. You never know. You never know that. Hey, you never know on that rainbow shit. Anyway, Brian Norman Jr. was missing against Jin Sasaki, and Jin Sasaki was standing there in front of him. No head movement, head not off the center line. Brian Norman Jr. was missing. He was tired. It's okay. You don't have to believe it. Carnell says what Sasaki did, he tucked his chin down. He wasn't tired at all. No, he was tired. It's okay, though. So telling he wasn't tired, he was tired. It's okay. Only fight you saw him get tired was a Korean fight. That's a fight you saw him get tired in. I saw him get tired against Jin Sasaki. But, again, you don't have to believe it. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Tired or not, Brian Norman Jr. has also an accuracy problem. And if you have an accuracy problem, if your punch placement is not on point against the Jin Sasaki who was standing there right in front of you, and you landed a lucky shot to knock his ass out, it was a lucky shot in my opinion. Because, listen, Jin Sasaki was tired. He was discombobulated by that first shot he took in the first round. He was standing there in front of Brian Norman Jr. the entire fight. He was just standing there, just no footwork, nothing. No footwork, no head movement, none of that shit. Just a moving target. He would come forward with the high guard. And when he stopped, he'd come down. Brian Norman Jr. swinging these wild ass shots, missing. Did Jin Sasaki pull back at any of those moments? Brian Norman missed by such a wide margin? No, he did not. And you think he's going to have any level of success landing on Devin Haney in that way? The same success he had against Jin Sasaki? Am I a boxer or a former boxer? I'm a boxer today. I box to this day. I practice. I'm not a professional boxer. I don't compete on an amateur, any longer. I did some boxing in the military. I've done a lot of sparring. I haven't sparred in a minute because it's hard to find sparring partners out here. But yeah, I am a practitioner of the sport of boxing and Muay Thai. Yes, every boxer has flaws. Exactly. Devin has flaws as well. It's just that Brian Norman Jr.'s flaws are going to be more glaring than Devin Haney's. Carnell says, listen, Norman fought same pace the whole fight, and Sasaki wasn't tired. Yeah, he was. It's okay, though. What the fuck you talking about? who just counter-punching Sasaki, everything he did. You can believe what you want. But let me tell you, when you throw big shots and you miss completely, and you're a guy like Brian Norman Jr., good morning, Anarchy. Salute to you. My brother always supporting. Thank you, brother. I appreciate Anarchy. Brian Norman Jr. was missing shots. When you miss completely, you get more tired. Now, if you land and you don't land clean, you land on a glove, guess what? Some of that momentum is being pushed back onto you. So, it's much easier to get your hands back in place. Here we go. Here go my kids. Here we go. They see I'm back now. They're going to start. Who is that? Oh, that's my son. Never mind. Anyway, guess what? When Brian Norman Jr. was missing completely, it made him tired. It's okay. And also, when he was throwing a lot of shots and landing on Jen Sasaki's glove, when Jen Sasaki was in the high guard, that can be tiring as well. Because guess what? You still have to be careful with counters, even if you land on a glove, even if they catch the shot. I just landed on the glove. He can come back with something. I got to get back in position. It's okay. You don't have to believe it. Blicky Rue says, let freedom reign. Absolutely. Like he did in the Correa fight. Yes. I got a question. Did Brian Norman punch himself out against Jen Sasaki? No, clearly not. But it didn't matter because Jen Sasaki left himself open to get knocked the fuck out. Jen Sasaki knocked himself out. When Jen Sasaki got knocked out, where was his hands? He threw a shot to he threw a stab to the body that didn't land. I think that he was trying to fake a jab to the body, fake a stab to the body. But his right hand was down here. And his chin was up in the air. Jen Sasaki's chin was up in the air when he was not in the high guard. It was like this. He only had his chin down in the high guard. But when his hands were down, his chin was in the air. Jen Sasaki knocked himself out. Coach Hudson said Devin is going to make Norman Jr. fight at a pace he is not used to. And then round 7 and up, he is taking in deep waters. Exactly. That's what I believe. Stormy B-Man, salute to you, brother. Good morning. Y'all go check out Stormy B-Man. As a matter of fact, y'all go check out Coach Hudson as well. And Stephen X, drop your link to your website and your YouTube channel. Y'all check these brothers out. Stephen X has a website where he writes boxing articles, and he said he takes submissions for any articles you want to write and put on his website. I think that is an excellent idea. Give something, create something that will rival Ring Magazine and all these other publications. Get some real talk out there in the world. Y'all drop all your shit. Drop all your content. What am I drinking? Oh, it's water. Just water. I just got through doing some wild ass sprints. I did some sprints and some Muay Thai drills out in the park, and it was beautiful, man. But man, what is my content? I just whatever I want to talk about, whatever interests me, whatever I want to bring truth to the community. That's what I talk about. So my wife is standing out in the door looking at me. Oh, that's my daughter. Never mind. I'm blind. Oh, let me put my glasses on. I thought that was my wife. It was my daughter. They the same height now. My second oldest daughter is as tall as my wife now, which is like 5'7". At 13, my daughter's 13 years old and 5'7". Anyway. Devin don't do well against counterpunchers. Norman has gotten better against counterpuncher. Norman is a better good. He is? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Brian Norman Jr. was a good counterpuncher. Because The counter punches I saw him throw, he misses a lot. Listen, I'm just saying, y'all. Brian Norman Jr. misses a lot of shots, and if he's gonna miss a whole lot against Devin. If he's missing like that against Jin Sasaki, he's gonna miss a whole lot against Devin. And Devin is excellent against counter punches. What are you talking about? Look what he did to Lomachenko. Look what he did to Loma. Look how he fought Loma in Regis. What's up, baby boy?
The breaker tripped again.
The breaker trip? Did y'all turn the light on? Yeah, you probably turned the light on.
Maybe you accidentally flipped it.
Stop. I'll reset the breaker. Don't be trying to reset the breaker.
Okay.
All right.
We were just looking at it.
You just looking at it, okay. And the breaker trip. Got you. So my children apparently was swinging from the chandelier in my foyer, and it created a short fault. It created a short, and now the breaker's tripping, and they think it's fun to whatever. I told them to knock it off. Ray Savage says, Kevin Carnell Triplet, ain't you the same guy that called Brian Norman Jr. the second coming of Roy? He called him that because of that leaping hook that he landed on Sasaki. But it's Jin Sasaki. Jin Sasaki, y'all, Jin Sasaki left himself open to get knocked the fuck out, y'all. Go look at the fight. TD Sports Talk, salute to you, brother. What's good, man? Thank you for coming through. Salute to you. Ray Savage says, Coach Hudson, I swear he called Brian Newton. There's no way. Roy Jones Jr. was very extremely fit. There's and extremely accurate. He relied a lot on his athleticism, but he had the stamina to hold up that level of athletic ability. And he was accurate. Brian Norman Jr. is only 21, y'all. Or 22. Fool ass Earthman dropping a super chat on your boy, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Coach Hudson, I'm flabbergasted as well. Stormy B-Man says, who knew Sasaki before Brian? I didn't know him, Stormy. I didn't know him. I surely did not. Stormy B-Man, no, I'll tell him. If I didn't know a fighter, I will tell you, because listen. Stormy B-Man, Stormy B-Man, where your link at, bro? Coach Hudson, where y'all links at? Levi Vaughn says, bro, I'm going to tell you, in the DMV, we got some boxes here. Oh, I know it. I believe it. I believe it. I'm pretty sure Stormy B-Man knows some of those guys. This was before the Jin Sasaki fight? Ain't no fucking way. Listen, Brian Norman Jr. is good, y'all. Brian Norman Jr. is good. He just has some things he has to work on. He is 21 or 22, whatever age, 24. He's young. He has a full career ahead of him. If he loses against Devin Haney, he won't get knocked out. He won't get devastated. He won't listen. He will be able to push forward and learn from that. I think this fight with Devin Haney is going to be a defining fight for Brian Norman Jr. And it's going to make him even more dangerous. Win, lose, or draw, him fighting Devin will make him a better fighter. It'll make him better, whatever happens. He's going to learn from this Devin Haney fight. Salute to Queen Sister Cameron in the building. Salute to the beautiful mind. The beautiful mind, Queen Cameron. Y'all check her out too. Drop your link, Queen Cameron. I know y'all at TD Sports Talk as well. Y'all can drop your links. I don't know why you ain't doing it. Norman landed 40% of his punches against Sasaki. Okay. You said there's 40%. But did he throw a lot? I don't believe that 40%. I don't know where you got that from. Did not look like 40% to me, but it's okay. Stormy B-Man says, TD says, hold on, DMV has a lot of talent. Hackett about to fight against again next week at a weight he can make. That's what's up. Stormy B-Man says exactly no one. Now the hospitals and casuals know. Whoop-de-doo. The hospitals. Levi says they got 13-year-old knocking out. Oh, yeah. I mean, I believe it. Wait till you see him coming out of SC Washington, D.C. Oh, you did? Okay, for sure, Stormy. Okay, I got you. Make sure y'all check out Stormy and Queen's sister Cameron. Make sure you check out Coach Hudson. All great content. But like I was saying, man, when he was doing that footwork, when he was showing off his footwork with that maze ball, or if you want to call it a slip ball, you can call it that. I saw movement that he's not used to. Because there is concern in his camp probably that there will be a footwork issue going against Devin Haney. But like I said, if you try to out footwork Devin, you're going to make a mistake. What you have to do is you have to cut off the ring. If that's the type of footwork you should be working on, is cutting off the ring. Because you're the puncher. You're the boxer puncher, right? People want to call you a boxer puncher. Okay, let's be a boxer puncher. Let's cut Devin off. Let's cut the ring off. And let's hope he doesn't turn us, because what I'm going to tell you Devin's going to do, you try to cut off the ring, he's going to turn you. He's going to turn you. He's going to bring you back to the center of the ring. And if you try to catch him on the ropes, he's going to counter and he's going to get out of there. And if Brian Norman Jr. misses a whole lot, he's going to get tired. He's going to blow his load, and that's going to be a problem. So I don't know what Brian Norman Jr. is doing in his camp. I just hope that he's working on stamina. I hope he's working, because I like Brian Norman Jr. as a boxer. I like him. And I think he can do great things. I just don't think he has what it takes to beat Devin right now. But he has a puncher's chance. I just believe that there are things that he needs to work on as a young fighter that hasn't been his focus up until this point, because, you know, he was knocking people out. But what happens when he goes up against pure boxers and guys that can move around? He's had struggles with them. But no one he has faced is on the level of a Devin Haney. That's what we have to consider and talk about. And when we talk about Google said he thrown 278 punches and landed 111 punches. Okay. That's a lot of misses. He's not going to land 111 punches against Devin Haney. He's not going to do it. Like I said, Sasaki was standing right there in front of him. I saw a lot of punches land on the glove against Sasaki as well. A lot of what Brian Norman landed was on the gloves. He didn't throw a lot of body shots. He threw some. He didn't throw a lot of them. Sasaki threw a lot more body shots, and you know, like I said, he threw a lot. He landed a lot of shit on the gloves. Stormy B-Man says, "Listen, there's a reason why many have avoided Devin. They'll talk ish, but none get in the ring. Exactly. If you follow the history of the sport, it's happened before. Devin is good. Just listen to what Floyd Sr. said. Yes, Devin is good. Devin is great. Devin is good. Right? He has the tools. Listen, Brian Norman Jr. is a great matchup for Devin Haney. Right? Even if Brian Norman Jr. improves his footwork, right? Improves his footwork, improves his stamina, and works on his accuracy, works on his punch placement and all that good stuff, then it's still, Devin is still levels above that. Like I said, if he lands something, he has the capability of landing a good shot and knocking Devin Haney down. But Devin has been knocked down multiple times and still put on a good showing against a guy who knocked him down 3 times. Or some people like to say 5 times and all this other shit. But, you know, Devin Haney put on a good performance in spite of that. Carnell says, it depends on the style. I'm telling Devin, don't do it against person his size. Who a counterpuncher. Norman is a good counterpuncher. Same mistake he made with Ryan and Lennar is the style. The Queen Sugar Free Mars is in the building. Salute to you. Salute to Queen Sugar Free Mars. Hey Viper, salute to you. Yeah, sure. Brian Norman Jr. is a great counterpuncher. Sure, why not? The difference is, here's the differences. Devin was at 135 when he fought Linares, and that was later on in the fight, and he was trying to mix it up with Linares and got caught. It happens. But he still came out and pulled out the win, right? Linares couldn't finish him. With Ryan Garcia, Devin was not fighting the fight he should have been fighting, and he got caught, but still against a drug cheat with the most powerful left hook in the sport of boxing. TD Sports Talk says he won every round that he didn't get knocked down in the first round of the fight. Yes. Devin footwork is indeed impeccable against Ramirez, but people complained about it. Oh, he running too much. No, what I saw was Devin moving around, lateral movement. I saw him setting up shots, setting up combinations. I saw him throwing a lot of check hooks that landed against Ramirez. I saw him get caught in the ropes, use the shoulder roll, the counter, use the slip counter, and all these different things to just land at will against Jose Ramirez. But we want to discount that and say, oh, yeah, whatever bullshit they want to say. Carnell says, so I got a question. Is Ryan more skilled than Norman? Why didn't he use them skills against Ryan? Yeah, Ryan is more skilled than Brian Norman Jr. That's in my opinion. Because Ryan Garcia is more accurate. Ryan Garcia has a better gas tank than Brian Norman Jr. Ryan Garcia does not miss as much as Brian Norman Jr. against certain fighters. Fighters who stand in front of him, like Jin Sasaki stood in front of Brian Norman Jr. I mean, look what he did to Rigondeaux. I mean, not Rigondeaux. What's his name? Not Rigondeaux. What the hell am I talking about? What's the Cuban's name? Oh, shit. The one he fought, the last guy he fought at 135 after Luke Campbell, I believe. Dude, I forgot his name. Story B-Man says, whom has Junior really outboxed? He hasn't outboxed anybody. We've seen him fight and punch. Devin is a more versatile fighter. Always consider the multifaceted 5-dimensional fighter over the 2-dimensional. Exactly. We have to, right? And that's why we say these guys have a puncher's chance. Sugar Free Mars says Dev beat Linares' ass. People they do love revisionist history. He beat his ass. Ryan was tired as hell against Devin. So now Ryan Garcia was tired. Ryan Garcia was tired. That's why he got outscored in most of the rounds. Okay, sure. Ryan Garcia was tired. Well, Brian Norman Jr. was tired in the third round against Jin Sasaki. He was tired. It's okay. Miles Fitzgerald, salute to you. Dank Dude says, yeah, my money on B. Norman. Good for you. Yeah, Fortuna. Yes. My bad, Dominican. Yes, my bad, TD. Yes. See, that's why I like guys like y'all in the game, because I'm going to let y'all handle all that, all the knowledge that y'all got. Man, that's why I watch you guys. So I ain't got to keep up with all that. But yes, Fortuna. Exactly. Let me tell you something. Y'all can say what you want about Ryan Garcia. His footwork is trash. He's not a great boxer. But he is a better boxer than most pure punchers. If you understand what I'm saying. He's not as a complete a fighter as a Tonka Truck Davis, right? Tonka Truck Davis is a more complete fighter than Ryan Garcia. But in terms of how he puts his punches and combinations together, Ryan Garcia is better skilled than Brian Norman Jr., in my opinion. Storm B-Man says, exactly, Ryan did not make weight against Devin, had PEDs, thus giving him a calculable advantage. Being knocked down 3 times didn't equate to a KO, dumb fucks, especially in 12 rounds where the point was deducted. But it is what it is. TD Sports Talk says Fortuna came for a payday and wasn't on weight. Nope, he was not. Ryan was supposed to fight him like 2 years before they actually fought. Yeah. What's the topic? You want to debate it? Oh, Gia. Good morning. Good morning to you, Gia. I don't have a link to drop. Yeah. You disagree with what? You disagree? I understand. It's all good. It's okay to disagree. Right? It's okay to disagree. I don't have a link to drop, but you can say what you want. You can speak your piece, speak your mind. Miles says, what do you think of MMA world versus class? Well, they're two different disciplines. Boxing, you can't really compare the two. I mean, they're different. MMA is like you have a lot of different weapons and tools you can utilize in MMA, where you just can't do that in boxing. And because of the limitations of tools and weapons you can use in boxing, you have to be a lot more creative in the way you execute, right? So I would say if an MMA fighter tried to box, they get his ass whooped. And if a boxer tried to do MMA, they get their ass whooped. I'm being biased. How am I being biased, Gia? Donald Morgan says, how you take PEDs and still can't knock out your opponent? Ryan Garcia is a drug cheat and still had a competitive match with Devin. Then Ryan got outboxed by Rose. Yeah, he got out. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Ryan Garcia is trash without the PEDs. Stormy B-Man says, Freedom's March, please go back and read my comment. Having two-dimensional fighters for those in the peanut gallery. Let me go back. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Wait. Yes. So Storm B-Man says, whom has Junior really outboxed? We've seen him fight and punch. Devin is a more versatile fighter, always considered the multifaceted 5-dimensional fighter over the 2-dimensional fighter. Absolutely. Always consider that. But again, there's always a puncher's chance, right? Gia Jolie says, yes, I know I am. Biased towards who, though? Because I'm using boxing to determine who I believe is going to be coming out on top in this fight. I'm not using things. How am I biased? Sugar Free Mars says, how the fuck do you ask what the topic is and say, I don't know, Sugar Free Mars. People are interesting. Mac Majestic says, need to see how his feet and hands are going to work together. Exactly, Mac Majestic. Because every time I've seen him use his footwork, right, his showing off his footwork, I didn't see him throw combinations while using that footwork. Can he punch on the move? Can he land combinations on the move? Can he, that's what I want to see. Okay, you show me some footwork. Okay, show me some combinations with that footwork. Gia Jolie, she says somebody needs to challenge him on his opinion. I've been challenged in this very live stream on my opinion by what's his name? Where's he at? Carnell Triplet has been challenging me the entire live stream. No, you can't learn it in one camp. That's what I was saying earlier, Mac Majestic. What I was saying, the first time he showed, Ray Savage dropped a $10 super chat on your boy. He says, I appreciate that. Salute to you. He says, everybody, Norman Jr. fought after Boca Chica fight was tailored to his style. So it's still unknown if Norman has actually improved as a boxer since the Randall fight. Yes. Who has he fought against? Has he had to use footwork? Has he had to box? You know what I'm saying? Has he had to do those things? No, he has not. And salute to him for challenging himself. I salute Brian Norman Jr. for challenging himself against a Devin Haney. And I said, win, lose, or draw, this will make him a better fighter. Because look at what he's working on. Look at what he's working on his footwork. Clearly, he's working on footwork. So what is he doing? He's trying to become a more versatile, more complete fighter just by going up against the Devin Haney. Devin Haney is already making him a better boxer. So win, lose, or draw, he will come out with this experience being a better fighter. And that's okay. Devin is going to bring that out in him. What I'm saying is the footwork that I've seen did not, it looked like, okay, genetically, he might have some good footwork that he can utilize. But does he practice footwork on a regular beat? Is that something that has been drilled into him for his entire career? Or is he just focusing on that now because he's facing Devin Haney and he has faced that level of criticism? And so he wants to show you, look, I do have footwork. I can move around the ring, lateral movement. I can go back and forth. I can do this and that. But there are mistakes that I saw in that footwork that I said, okay, he still needs work with his footwork. Crossing his feet, bringing his feet too close together. You know what I'm saying? Stutter stepping when you're not, because you can stutter step on purpose or you can stutter step because you're trying to get back in position to pick your footwork back up. It's okay, though. It's okay. He's 20, whatever age he is, he's a young man. He still has a whole career ahead of him. J-Man, salute. Brother Reed, salute to you. TD says part of the problem with gauging Norman is what I've been saying for 2 years. The 147 division is the weakest and it's been very, yes, it is the weakest. I mean, according to a lot of the experts out there, like Stormy B Man and others who have said this, you know, the guys that I defer to and that I watch on a regular basis to get some good boxing talk. Stephen X says he was doing the footwork without throwing. That's what I was saying. Yeah, exactly. He was doing footwork without throwing hands. Even against the Maze ball, it's like, okay. Listen, I'm not shitting on him. Gia Jolie. Well, who am I being biased towards? Sister? You still haven't told me. Am I biased towards Devin or am I biased towards Brian Norman Jr.? Explain to me, Gia Jolie. Miles Fitzgerald says bias means making moves or controlling due to to personal reasons. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not being biased. I don't believe I am. Just because I believe Devin has the better tools and the better skills to win this fight. And because I know that Devin has been through the fire that Brian Norman Jr. has not been through. I think that I think he's just a better skilled fighter. And that's okay. Please, he's trying to control the narrative on an athlete that he doesn't like. What? What makes you think I don't like Brian Norman Jr.? That's crazy. I don't understand where you're getting that from. Man, Brian Norman Jr. would probably get watched by Loma. Loma would watch Brian Norman Jr. If all things being equal, of course. Donald Morgan says, whoever is going for Brian Norman Jr., please place a bet online for Brian Norman. Yeah, doesn't he have, aren't the odds in his favor? Devin's the underdog. Absolutely. Ray Savage says, to be honest, I think Stanionis would give Norman Jr. hell. He might well do that. I don't believe I'm being biased. I just think Devin is a better skilled fighter. It's okay. Because of what he has done. His body of work, Devin's body of work has forged him into the fighter he is today. He's an elite fighter. Brian Norman Jr. is still being forged. He is still on his way. He's the champion at 147. But I mean, what has he done to get that belt? What fires has Brian Norman Jr. went through? How many tests has he gone through? Jen Sasaki stood in front of him. Jen Sasaki was an easy target. Jen Sasaki didn't give him any type of hell. And when he had any challenges, I mean, Sugar Free Mars says Gia doesn't know the topic she is typing because it's a troll. Gia, because Sugar Free Mars, the Queen Sugar Free Mars, is coming after you because you're launching baseless accusations at me about being biased, and you still haven't told me what how I'm being biased. TD says Devin is slight underdog. The line will move in the beginning of November. Yeah, it'll move for sure. It'll move. Absolutely. Yes, Bill is living rent free, and man, it's crazy. And I saw part of an interview that Bill did with YSM. Shout out to them. And he was very respectful of the Normans, like very respectful. Like he no shit talking, nothing, didn't shit on Brian Norman Sr. He was just, but yet Brian Norman Sr. is going around doing the best he can to shit on Bill. It is what it is. This is a par for the course for anybody that goes up against the Haneys. J-Man says Centillion was a good test for him. He was. But he's not the same test that Devin's going to be. Gia asks, but is he a better athlete? Who, Devin? Yes, Devin's a better athlete. Devin's a better athlete than Brian Norman Jr. Let me listen. Guys like Brian Norman Jr., you have to understand. Brian Norman Jr. has a lot of fast twitch muscle fiber activation, which he gets a lot of his power from. He is a natural power puncher because he has a lot of short, fast twitch muscle fibers that are activated more so than long twitch muscle fiber or slow twitch muscle fibers. But fast twitch muscle fibers take a lot of energy. Brian Norman Jr. has a lot of muscle. Okay? So, while he is very explosive, performing those explosive movements take a lot of energy because he has a lot of active fast twitch muscle fibers. And that's really simple as that. Now, he can activate his long twitch muscle fibers by doing more and more endurance exercises, making himself more well-rounded. But at the end of the day, it's just genetics. Genetically, he's going to get, simply because of his genetic makeup, he's going to tire quickly when he does all that explosive shit he does. Donald Morgan says, if Brian Norman Jr. had Devin Haney's resume, you dudes would be saying the same thing. And many of us, logic over feelings. Brian has never fought a Loma level fight. Yes. Wait. If Brian... Yeah. Brian Norman Jr. doesn't have to have the resume of a Devin Haney. Brian Norman Jr. has never fought anybody on the level of a Loma. Or the level of a Linares, the level of a goddamn JoJo Diaz, or the level of a goddamn Regis Prograis. No, he's not. Of course, y'all, people want to shit on Regis Prograis now. They want to act like Regis Prograis had never been shit. But we know that he has. You know what I'm saying? Regis Prograis, now they sleeping on, now they acting like Regis Prograis ain't shit. Jordan says, Jesus Christ is the Son of God who come to earth, lived in sinless life, was crucified for our sins, and once again on the third day to defeat him. Believe in Jesus today and be saved. Thank you for that, Jordan. Appreciate it. TD Sports Talk says, gamemanship can't be taken seriously. It's for entertainment. Yeah, I have no problem with it. My problem is people acting like it's people blowing it out of proportion. Like this whole thing. Ray Savage says, they talk about Brian Norman Jr. power, but let's see how easy it will be to land the power against someone who's fighting off the back foot and isn't looking to engage. Yes. Until he feels like engaging. Devin will engage when he feels like it, and he will land at will. And Brian Norman Jr. is going to have to contend with that. Alexis Flores says, I appreciate that, Alexis. Salute to you. If you're an actual lady. Gia Jolie asks how so? How so what? J-Man asks how's the gas tank? It's not very good in my opinion. Brian Norman Jr.'s gas tank is not good at all to me, in my opinion. I've seen him get tired. He has to work on that. I mean, you can. He can improve it. You just got to do the endurance exercises. Yes, yes, Sugar Free Mars. I saw him working on the head movement with the maze ball, or as some would like to call it, the slip ball. Yes, I saw that. He was very impressed with himself. Listen, that's why I said he does have concern about his footwork and all that stuff, because now he's trying to show us that he has some. And I was not very impressed. I wasn't very impressed. And it's simply because that's not something that he drills. He doesn't drill that routinely. So he's trying to, if he's training for footwork on the level of a Devin Haney, that's where he's making a mistake. He should not be trying to train to have footwork like Devin, because people are criticizing him about his footwork. That's not what he should be doing. Nobody's going to call him out, Wesley. Gia Jolie, what are you talking about? You still haven't told me. I'm wrong on the topic. Tell me how I'm wrong, please, Sister Gia. It looked weird to me. And that's why I said the man got tired doing that. Doing that shit, he got tired, because there was a point, I could tell he was tired, because there was a point he grabbed the ball to take a little break, and then he pushed it again. I'm like, boy, there was nothing wrong with the slip ball. The slip ball was still going back and forth. You still could have been continuing what you were doing, but you just decided, oh, let me stop it and it's okay. Donald Morgan says, to everyone who picking Brian Norman Jr., just make sure after he fight Devin, you still support that kid. Yes, that's what I said. He still has, he's young. After Devin, he's going to be a better fighter. He's going to be a better fighter. Jay Brumfield says, Norman is focusing on the wrong things for this fight. I believe Devin, okay, Norman need new footwork will have him lunging, and that's another thing. He does lunge a lot. And here's another thing we have to consider. Devin's going to be, he's not going to have to drain. He's going to be a lot more. He's going to have a lot more energy leading into the fight. He's going to be more properly hydrated. He's going to be fully focused. And, it is what it is. Juan Savino is uneducated in this topic. Everyone leave. He's spreading misinformation. I'm spreading misinformation. Okay. Ray Savage says, Norman Jr. gas tank isn't good. He always looking sloppy at the end of every fight that went the distance. I'm sure that's part of the reason he fights at a conservative pace. Yes. TD Sports Talk says he agrees, win, lose, or draw, he will be yes, he will be better afterward. Yes. Salute to Jeff Spark. Gia, man. Sister G, I need you to do better. I need you to tell me where I'm being biased at. Anyway, y'all, let me get up in here. Gotta do my last little part of my workout. Doing some Muay Thai drills on the heavy bag. So, gotta finish up. Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to stop by and give my take on this, man. Like, yes, Brian Norman Jr. is probably working on footwork, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Donald Morgan says, I'm still shocked that we got people giving an opinion on a topic they are not aware of. Telling people to stop being biased while being biased is the next level crazy. Yeah. People do what they do. But listen, it's okay. I mean, he can work on his footwork, but maybe this fight will help him work on other tools, right? So after the Devin fight, he's going to go into the next fight. He's going to have a lot more time and opportunity to improve to improve as a complete fighter. And once he becomes a more complete fighter, he's going to be one of the most dangerous guys at 147. He is the most dangerous at this point in time, but now that Devin is facing him at 147, Devin's a more dangerous fighter. Not because he's more likely to knock Brian Norman Jr. out. No, because he's probably going to style on Brian Norman Jr. and people are going to be shocked. When Devin styles on Brian Norman Jr., people are going to be shocked. They're going to call him runners. They're going to say, oh, he didn't barely land. He didn't engage. He didn't punch. He didn't do this and do that. But they won't talk about how Devin's going to land at will, how he's going to use his footwork, how he's going to turn Brian Norman Jr., how he's going to make him come to the center of the ring, how he's going to do this and that, how he's going to make a miss, how he's going to, use his superior footwork to do. And if Brian Norman Jr. lands a lucky shot and it doesn't knock Devin out, people are going to be surprised. They're going to say, they're going to make memes, and it is what it is. Does Brian Norman Jr. have the capability of knocking Devin down? Yes. Let's say he knocks Devin down. I don't think that's going to put Devin out. I think that Devin can still win. And that's going to be even better for Brian Norman Jr. No, they can't wait to complain about Dev. It doesn't matter what Dev does. It's still they're gonna downplay Brian Norman Jr. They're gonna call Devin a runner. They're gonna say he's scared and all this other shit because Brian Norman Jr. probably won't be able to land much. And that's what we're gonna have. And then we're gonna have guys like Stefan coming in here and saying stupid goofy and with no substance and all that. And it is what it is. TD Sports Talk says that's why the fight is very intriguing. I can see a few different ways for each other fighter to win. Yes, there are going to be a few different ways. And it's not going to go the way people think it's going to go. So anyway, much love, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all go out there. Exercise, work out. Man, stay moving. Stop eating the sugar shit. Stop eating the processed foods. We got food prices are on the rise. But pay attention to what foods are getting more expensive and stop eating those foods. Like when I said my family member was complaining about the prices of cereal. The price of cereal. Stop fucking eating cereal. Stop eating soda. Stop drinking. Stop doing all the bullshit. Go out there and train. You know what I'm saying? Get your fight training on. Get your sprints on. Get your body weight exercises on. Go lift some weights. Go get that energy out. Anyway, yes, health is wealth, J-Man. Fool ass Earthman, salute to you. Thank you for dropping that super chat. Thank you to Anarchy for dropping the super chat and everybody else for dropping super chat. Thank you for everyone who hit the like button, who came to check me out, who came and wrote in the comments. Much love to you guys. Stay up. Looking forward to this fight. And I want to do a little something about in regards to I want to talk about what are those geese like? Canelo versus Terrence Bud Crawford. I want to talk about that soon as well because that's going to be an interesting one. All right. Much love, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for everyone who came through. Peace out, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.